So I'm going to show you how to do a couple on page 41, quadratic fractions. Okay, so first of all, the thing that we're going to notice, and if I do number 1, is that we can't cross out. So the temptation that everybody wants to do, and it's totally wrong, is to go, well, there's an x here and an x here, and I can divide this by 4, and I'm going to have 2, and it's going to be 4. Something dumb like that. Okay, we can't do that because we can only do that crossing out like we did with this when these things are attached by times. So we can only say x because that's xx, and we can only do that when there's a times. Everything's attached by times. Okay, so if we look carefully at this problem, the thing is that these things are attached by a plus here and a here. We can't cross them out. So what we have to do is we have to factorize them if we can. So first step is we're going to look for a common number factor. So we're going to look for a common number factor. What I mean by that, a common factor, that's a number. So perhaps I'll write that better. So a common number, that's a factor, if there is one. Okay, so in this question here, I can see that there's a 2 and an 8. And we're looking for that for either the numerator, the denominator, or maybe both. Okay, so I can see that 2, the fact that 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 4 is 8, so 2 is a common factor on the top. However, I can also see that there is no common factor on the bottom because there is no number in front of the x here. So there's only a common factor that I can take out in the numerator, the top part. So 2 is common. So I'm going to take 2 out here as my common factor, just like we factorize normally. I'm going to leave the denominator as the same. Okay, so what do I have? I have a common number out the front. So 2 times what is 2x? 2 times x. 2 times what is 2 times what is 8? Positive 4. Okay, so that's factorized. Okay, so now what I notice now, and let's go back to one problems that we had like this. We cancelled them out because we said that that's what that means. And everything is attached by times, so we can go x divided by x is 1. And that will leave us with 2 times 1 is 2x. And that's the answer. So we could do it because there was a common factor, because it was attached by times. Okay, so if I have a look here, there is secretly a common factor on the bottom. It's a 1. So I'm just going to go like that. All right, so if we have a look, are there timeses now? There's a times here and a times here. So if I pretended, so it's kind of like looking at it as if I've got a 2x over 1x. So forget that it's got 2 parts. Let's just look at it and think for the moment, instead of having an x plus 4, let's think of it as just 2 times something. And it's the same something. Okay? So in that case, something divided by something is 1. And that would leave me with 2 over 1 or 2. So I'm going to look at this again like that. So I have a common bracket. I have x plus 4 on both the top and the bottom. And so I'm going to cross it out. X plus 4 divided by x plus 4 is 1. And so that leaves me with 2 over 1, which is just 2. Okay, so if I look at number 2, I can do the same thinking. Is there a common factor on the numerator? And the answer is no, because there's no number here. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that as 1, just for the sake of this. We don't normally put it there, that. So there's a times there. Now I'm going to look at the denominator. Is there a common factor? This is 4 and this is 4. So clearly 4 is a common factor. So I'm going to take the 4 outside. And so I've got 4, and I'll do it a different color so you can see, 4 times, and I'm going to factorize it. What am I going to have? 4 times what is 4x? 4 times x, 4 times what is negative 4? Negative 1. So I have factorized it. Okay, now when I factorized it, I have now got a times in between each of the brackets. And what I notice is I have the same bracket on the top and the bottom. So that's like having, remember, like having x over x. That divides, x divided by x is 1, so I can cross them out. So the same thing happens here. X minus 1 divided by x minus 1 is 1. So I've got 1 times 1 is 1 over 4 times nothing, so it's 4. And that's my answer. So then if we move down to number 4, what we've got is we do the same thing. Do I have a common factor on the top? Yes, I do. It is a number. It is 2. So I have 2 times bracket. What do I have? 2 times x gives me 2x. And 2 times what makes negative 12? Negative 6. Right, there's a secret times in there. Do I have a common factor on the bottom? Yes, because 3 times 6 is 18. So 3 is common. What does that leave me with? It leaves me with 3 times what is 3x? The answer is x. 3 times what is negative 18? Negative 6. So now I've got the same bracket. X minus 6 divided by x minus 6 is 1, leaving me with 2/3. Okay, so what happens when we get to ones like number 6? Oh no, we'll do number 8. Okay, so we're going to do ones like this. Okay, so we're going to do these. Okay, so the first thing we do is we factorize the numerator. 3 is common, and that leaves us with x minus 3. Check. 3 times 3 is 3x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay, and I factorize the denominator the way that I would normally factorize it. So remember, we go x squared plus 2x minus 15. So there's a 1 here, so we go, remember it's in the ax squared plus bx plus c form. So a times c. So a times c is negative 15. So this is ac. And then they have to add together to make b, which is positive 2 in this case. This is a, this is b, this is c. Okay, so what are factors of negative 15 that combine together to make positive 2? Okay, factors of negative 15, positive 1, or positive 15, negative 1. Negative 5, positive 3, positive 5, negative 3. Okay, because these multiply together. Okay, negative 15 times 1 is negative 15. Okay, and there's no more. Okay, so when we combine these, that makes negative 14. That's wrong. This one makes positive 14. That's wrong. This one makes negative 2. That's wrong because we want positive 2. We want this one. Positive 5 minus 3 makes positive 2, which is what we want. So these are our two factors, positive 5, negative 3. So what we do now, remember, is we write the first term the way it is, we write the last term the way it is, but instead of plus 2x, we write plus 5x minus 3. Then we divide it down the middle, and we factorize the first two terms. X is common, x plus 5. Negative 3 is common. Now we're factorizing the last two terms. Oh, I forgot the x here. Negative 3 is common, so that leaves me with x. And a negative times a what is a negative? A positive. 3 times what is 15? 5. So we have this repeated bracket. So our two brackets are x plus 5. And the other bracket is the leftovers, x minus 3. That is our factorized expression for that. So x plus 5 times x minus 3. And look, we have these secret times here. So we have the same bracket on the top as on the bottom. So in x minus 3 divided by x, it's attached by times, so we can do this. X minus 3 divided by x minus 3 is 1. And that leaves us with 3 over x plus 5. And then what do we do with number 10? We factorise it the same way. And so we have, if we do the same thinking, we've got x squared plus 4x plus 4. This is a is 1, b is 4, c is plus 4. Plus 4. So we want ac here, b here. B is 4. A times c is 1 times 4, which is 4. Vectors of 4 that will combine to make positive 4. Positive 4, yep. So the factors of positive 4 are positive 1 and positive 4, or negative 1 and negative 4, positive 2 times positive 2, or negative 2 times negative 2. All right, so which one of these combine to make plus 5, minus 5, plus 4, minus 4? These are the two that are correct. So plus 2 plus 2. So that gives us x squared, first number, second, last number stay the same. And it's got plus 2x, plus 2x. Divide it down the middle, factorise the first two. X plus 2, plus 2 is common, x plus 2. So our two brackets are x plus 2, and the leftovers, which happens to be the same bracket, x plus 2. So that is x plus 2 over x plus 2. And then on the bottom, we factorise the same thing again. Okay, so we've got x squared plus 6x plus 8. So the a is 1, b is positive 1, positive 6, c is positive 8. So we want ac here, b here. A times c is positive 1 times positive 8 is positive 8. B is positive 6, so we want factors of positive 8 that will combine to positive 6. So positive 8 can be a positive 1 times a positive 8, or a negative 1 times a negative 8, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Or we could have positive 2 times positive 4, or negative 2 times negative 4. They're all the factors. What do they combine to? Positive 9, negative 9, positive 6, negative 6. And we need it to be positive 6 because that's what was there. So it's these two. So it's positive 2, positive 4. So then we go over here and we have the first term stays the same, x squared. The last term stays the same. But instead of in the middle positive 6x, we write plus 2x plus 4x. Divide it down the middle. Common factor is x. X plus 2 is one bracket. 4 is common to this side. X plus 2. And oh, look, we have the same bracket again. So one of our brackets is x plus 2. And the other bracket is the leftover bits, which is x plus 4x. Those are our two brackets. So that's what goes on the bottom here. Our brackets were x plus 2, x plus 4. Okay, and what do we notice? There's a secret times between these two. So we can do a cancelling of a whole bracket, and we have a repeated bracket. So x plus 2 divided by x plus 2 is 1, which leaves us with x plus 2 over x plus 4. And that's all.